Guys, go ahead.
Fire away, guys.
I'll give you these.
How are the wedding plans?
Oh, most important question, right?
Absolutely.
Going really well. Work, starting a new job, and planning that. So those are my two main things going on right now. And being a tennis fan, that's also on the agenda.
You have fun in Australia?
Absolutely. I was just telling a few people in the owner's room, it's one of the most nerve-wracking things I've ever been a part of is having to watch, and I'll be a spectator again tonight, but having to watch somebody have zero control over outcome other than just being able to cheer somebody on. It's a pretty helpless feeling. So
You were obviously part of the ride here, but it's keeps going and going. What have you just thought about where this has gotten to?
It's incredible, and I just talked to Coach Kerr about it a little bit, and it's been amazing. You keep seeing this role continue, and to realize it's been a few years now since it started. So it's not like this is a new thing anymore. It's a thing that's been around for a few years and is continuing to get better. And my biggest thing is I'm just happy to be a small part of it. I don't really care what part of it people think I was, whether I was one of the first people here, whether, just the fact I was able to win a championship and be a part of something so special, and it's continued on from there. And they've done it with an incredible group of people with great character and great team chemistry and obviously great ownership and coaching. So it's really cool to have been a part of that, and that's why I'll continue to support it whenever I'm out here.
You were here when Steph kind of started his rise. When you look at him now, does it blow you away to kind of see where he is compared to when you first met him?
Yeah, no question about it. I think a lot of it just has to do with confidence. Because I think we were, Raymond, you were here when this all went down, and he signs his contract for, the contract before the big contract. I guess it was a big contract then too, but and how many members of the media, how many people, fans, and everything doubted investing in a guy that had so many ankle troubles and it had so many injury difficulties, and there were times when Monte got traded, should they have traded Steph instead? There was a lot of interesting things that go on, and now you look back on it and everybody pretends like those times never happened. But I think it's what made him stronger, and also I just saw really the confidence build every single year, and every time I think that he can't reach a new level, he has an even better season. So it's really special to watch.
Since announcing your retirement, how much have you felt at peace? How much do you miss the game? How have you kind of worried everything?
I'm completely at peace with it. I'm really happy that I got to go out on my terms. I think that's something that was very important to me, and I had the thought of playing another 2 or 3 years, and then got a great business opportunity off the court, and right as that happens, the offers that came in at free agency were to play 12, 15 minutes a game in places that didn't have a chance to win a championship again. And I looked at that, and I looked what I had accomplished in the league, and thought that now would be as good a time as any. And I told the story that I didn't know until I kind of watched the first game of the year, and I was watching that Cleveland-Boston game and saw Gordon Hayward get hurt, and I said, you know what, I think I'm good. I think I'm good sitting on the couch and observing this. So I'm completely at peace with it, and very, very happy to come back tonight, and no awkward feelings, just going to go support everybody and be a fan. So it's been great.
2 questions for you. You said you got a great business opportunity. What's that, first of all, and then second of all, over your years at Golden State, what are sort of the things that stick out to you or that you remember the most?
Okay, yeah, so the business opportunity is actually somebody within, with the Warriors, and that's Chamath, who's one of our owners, who runs Social Capital, came to me before free agency started and said that I'd love to connect with you when your career's over, and we've become very good friends for the last 5-7 years, and said I'd love to have you come work for me when you're done. And then when the free agency went, as I told you, it went where I was kind of not thrilled about anything that was presented to me. I thought that now was the perfect time to get involved so I could get learning as quickly as possible, and it's been great so far. And then I think obviously the championship, being a part of that, you look at getting injured my final year here, and how that could have been the most frustrating year of my career. Obviously, losing a lot of playing time, but I think it was the fact that I put the team first, and instead, was only thinking about being a part of something special. And then when I was given the opportunity in 2 different playoff series, meeting Memphis and then in the finals against Cleveland, to take care of business, I think because of my attitude, I was mentally ready to do so, and I think I helped our team accomplish something really special, and something I'll always look back on as being one of the coolest things in my life. So I think that's the thing that that sticks out, obviously the championship, and really just seeing this build year by year. And that's what's so special is getting here. I'll never forget when I signed, and it's not like I was coming from a perennial winner. I was coming from a New York team that we had lost a bunch of games, and I think it was Tim Kawakami that asked, like, why would you come? Explain to me again, why did you just sign here? Like, I'm not really understanding it. They've been through X amount of losing seasons, and outside of the We Believe year, there's really been nothing positive to happen. And my answer was because I think this could be a great, obviously the fan base is incredible, and I think it has some great potential. So to see it build year over year, year after year was a really cool thing to be a part of.
You said that your mentality that year, the championship year, you really put team first. Was that did that evolve or? Oh yeah,
completely. I mean, any young guy that comes in the league and doesn't say that they have a certain level of selfishness is probably not playing a lot of minutes or isn't getting very far. I mean, I got here and you know, made a couple All-Star games and did some things, and you know, was of course about winning, but at the same time I think that definitely had some selfishness like a lot of players do, and it finally became, you know, more important to me towards the end of my career, you know, about being a good teammate, being a part of a winning culture and doing things like that. And I think the reason is because I was surrounded by such good teammates here. It made me want to be that way. And I think that's, you know, in a situation here now when you have leaders like Steph and Kevin Durant, guys like that, and Draymond that believe in stuff like that, that everyone else has to fall in line. And so that's what happened to me. I don't know if I just became a little more mature or what happened, but it was a big change in my career and a change in my mindset, and like I said, I think the reward came because I was able to make that switch.
You what if that West Finals last year at all with how Game 1 went? What happened after that?
Say again?
You what if that West Finals last year did the same thing?
I mean, I think even if you ask the Warriors players, I think if Kawhi doesn't get hurt, probably tough for them to come back from how many ever points down and beat us. I still think it would have been a very close series, and you know, because the Warriors had home court, you probably have to give them the advantage. And I think a lot of my Spurs teammates would agree with that. But it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if we win Game 1 at Oracle. With that being said, they were the best team last year and deserved to win the finals, and did so. But it would have been really interesting, and getting a Game 1 win on the road always creates a really interesting scenario. If all of a sudden adjustments are made, you never know what happens. But it was a heck of a game. It was a terrible ending, being on the other side of that, but and also just the way Kawhi went down was very, very tough. And I was in sort of an interesting position because a lot of the people in San Antonio kind of pointed fingers, and Zaza was a teammate of mine the year before in Dallas, and I think he's a great guy. So I sort of had to just stay out of that one, but it would have been an interesting series, you know, had Kawhi not gone down, but who knows what would happen.
Good. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.